Good morning, Rabbi Isai. It's a sad day today for MDY. We don't have any guests really, unless you're. Wow. Oh! As we're saying it. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Remind me your name. Shimon Lefkowitz. I was just saying that's a sad day that we don't have any guests, and you, mamish, as I said it, you walked through the door. It's beautiful. Wow. I was waiting. Rabbi said, very exciting to me. I just chapped. Look at this chart right over here. These are the dafim, and it's a pretty long mesech. I don't know, 120 daf or something. And these are all the dafim that are taken. As you can see, way through the first volume, all the way to Samach Daled. There's one daf on Samach Daled. Unbelievable. So I'm gonna talk about the new names in a second. As soon as they come in, they're coming in right now as we speak. Rabbi Isai, yesterday at the MDY booth at the OGBA show. Shkoyach to all those who helped out and manned the booth and brought people to Torah. They didn't tell me how many people came. I'm sure a bunch. Oh, this is our guy from, what do you call it? From Bat Torah. What's his name? From Kiryas Yoel. Yossi, the guy in the left top corner over there. You don't remember? Here we go.
Rebelli, I'm here by the MDY booth at OGBA with, what's your name?
Yossi Zinner, Lakewood MDY.
Lakewood MDY, what's your name? He's just joining the DAF right now because Yossi recruited him, right? Yossi, how's it going today? You get people to sign up?
Trying. I've been asking people when they scroll through YouTube, they should check out MDY.
Shout out to Adi Kaimovich.
Yeah, he got you to join the DAF? Did you watch his thing?
Adi is very close. I know Adi very well. Shout out to him.
Baruch Hashem. Okay, we're glad you joined, and we're also thank you for starting more people today. Gewaldig.
Chaim Spitz, Chavermo Williamsburg, W63. W stands for Williamsburg. Definitely deserves a shout out for how he spends the night shift. It's unbelievable, the night shift. Staying awake to serve the community while doing the daf with MDY between calls. Rabbi Isai, the new Zevachim Part 3 calendar is now available. You can pick it up any following location. Borough Park, at the CAF residence, the famous CAF residence. They do the shir there nightly. Zevachim Part 3 calendar. Oh, I want to share with you two songs from AI. I thought they were very nice. I get songs all the time, but I like these. This one was made by Dave Sharfman, who, thank you, Dave, is in the booth because Gary's not around these days. He's on vacation somewhere. I'm not going to play the whole thing. We'll play a small piece. Maybe make it a little louder.
שנים שהוא לא למד, אומר כל הזמן, לא היום, אולי מחר, הגמרא על המדף, אבל מה לעשות, הטראומה גם. יום אחד חבר לו אמר, בוא למרכז דף יומי תתרשם, לא תפסיק, זה לא הדף, זה היומי, כל יום דף, והשינוי כבר שם, לא מפספס וגם אם קרה, אז מדלג וממשיך, כי זו הדרך להתמיד.
Okay, that's one. And this one, play, this is in English. AI, from beginning to end, even the words. No, I'm saying, he put in the inputs. Listen to this one.
40,000 eyes on the screen. Coffee in hand, mind so keen. He cracks a joke, the crowd explodes from Jamara lines to life's
Jamara.
crossroads. Male singer, applied with a klezmer tone. He's got the spark, the passion, the grin, flipping pages like a whirlwind. Rebellious depth, oh can't you see? Bringing Torah to MDY. Every line's alive, every word a key. 40,000 hearts learning free. From Rashi's notes to Tosafot, it's made.
All right. Anyway, I got an email this morning. It's like, I saw that you were nispal from AI. A niggin has to come from a neshama, from a human being. How could you enjoy it? Yeah, it's a little bit better than cholesterol. Anyways, I don't see the new names. Oh, maybe they came in later? I saw him working on it before. Okay. So we're going to go straight to this. If they come in, they come in. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon. Dedicated memory of Avi Moiri Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zechron Levracha. Masechta sponsored anonymous Lili Nishmas Doidi Shlomi Yehuda Zechron Levracha ben Shmuel Chaim Zechron Levracha Shokav V'Lom Kol Yotzim Kol Chayov. Anonymous. Masechta Nishmas Nochem Tzvi ben David, sponsored by Skyber Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki, and Shamshish Lafrak for the devotion to Torah study and the Shir. Joel Gedalius, Lili Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalius. Anonymous. Hatzlach Brooklyn Uvigashmis. What? Turn what off? No, tell him I saw him doing it. It's updating as I saw, but it popped out. Koil sponsors. Month. Anonymous from London. Parnasa B'Shefa. Monthly sponsors. Anonymous. Please down for Refuah Shlema for the world's best dad, Aaron Ben Chaya Sarah. Dave, he's saying that we have to refresh. I don't know if there's something you can do over there. Anonymous Bracha B'Lidai. Baruch Tzvi Nissen Ben Shoshana Leah. Yehuda B'Yamin Ben Chava. Anonymous from London. Atzlach B'Parnasa. Daily sponsor for Shlema for Arnon Ben Chano having surgery today by wife and kids. Thanks for Belly in celebration of the Yom HaTzola of the Satmar Rebbe, Rabbi Yoel Teitelbaum, Zeichet Tzadik Levracha. I'm actually going to mention something from him today. Shmak Vart. The Yom Edelstein for Atzlachim, my Illinois contracts final today. Oh, May. I think I know what that is. MDY for Shlema Yonatan Eitan Ben. Basheva Bracha, Refuah Shlema Mordechai ben Esther, Refuah Hayela Daniel Zev ben Hayela Esther. Rabbi said we're holding on Daf Pei Zayin Omid Beis on the bottom. Hopefully, we could get to the end of the parak. We have a very, very easy daf today. It's actually the other half. Pei Ches Omid Beis is basically Agadita. Starts on Pei Ches Omid Aleph even. Very light. Yeah. If you're going to look, it's not one of those heavy agaditas. It's a small agadita. Bam, it's agadita. So, yesterday we had a Gevaldik Shaila. It was just we have to finish up the sugya. We had to stop short. The airspace above the mizbeach, is it like the mizbeach? If you put the meat of a carbon in that airspace, is it considered as if it's touching the mizbeach or not? Something like this. So the Gemara says, well, we could bring a raya right now. I'm just going to say about pet. Bring a raya from if the kohen is on top of the mizbeach and he shechted, he did melika, not shechted, he did melika to a chatas. Yesterday we spoke about oila. Chatas bird, he should not be up there. But if he was, he did it up there, what should he do? So it says you have to do hazah. You have to sprinkle the blood. The problem is, let's see, hazah is something like this, where you, from a distance, you give it a toss. So over here, the blood had to go through the air and hit the mizbeach. So if it's going through the air and you're on top of the mizbeach, it could be a problem. So let's see the Gemara, 3 lines from the bottom. Lach yisa mia tifshoit. On the other side, if we do a flip, not an oila, we could learn from a chatos, then maybe perhaps you could come to a conclusion here, you can figure it out. The avir mizbech dami, that the airspace above the mizbech has a halacha like the mizbech itself. The avir mizbech lav mizbech dami, because if you hold that it's not like the mizbech, chatas oy psula, you have a puzzle chatas bird, meaning you had intent for a different carbon, let's say you thought you're doing the malika for the chatas bird, you're thinking that it's a oila. Now we know that by chatas, Shaloi Lishma makes it possible. Heichi mazim dama. The halacha is that you sprinkle the blood when it's possible. How can you do that? Havale yarud. Once the blood is flying through the ear, it's as if it left the mizbeach. It went off the mizbeach. It went off the mizbeach. You can't put it back on the mizbeach. The same question if you have blood of another carbon in a kli and you're supposed to do zrika. It's on top of the mizbeach, so you do zrika. According to Rav Gamliel, there's a mandama that says you should do zrika. How? It's going through, it's flying through the ear, and it's as if it went off the mizbeach. So how could it go back on the mizbeach? Says Gemara, you're right. It's a great question. So we must say the magalu. Here, he did something like this. He's not throwing the blood. but the blood is, you put the kli on the wall of the mizbeach. So there's no, that's the next question. So so it never flew through the air. What do I gain now? It didn't fly through the air, so it never went off the mizbeach. It was always on the mizbeach. Says Gemara, azahi. That's called azah. Azah means from a distance. Mitzuhi, that's literally squeezing out the animal. I'm not going to show you. We did it yesterday, taking the bird, and that's another thing you're supposed to do. The Torah says do both, azah and mitzuhi. Squeeze it, give it a kvetch on the mizbeach. Hazrika. When we're talking about the non-kosher carbon, we said it's not zrika, shvicha. That's called spilling it. Let's say it is, but that's not the way people. That's not the way the kohen does it. You don't go up to the mizbeach. Omer Ravashi, he says that wasn't our question. Our question wasn't if the kohen himself is standing on the mizbeach doing zrika, doing hazah. Because if he's on the mizbeach, then he himself is touching the mizbeach. There's no question that's considered like the mizbeach. Kiko Omar, the whole question was the talino bekanyamai teiku. The whole question was he did something like this. It's on a stick, it's on a rock. He's not on the mizbeach. He himself is off the mizbeach. I just want to know, is the airspace of the mizbeach considered like the mizbeach or not? But if he's on, like you just said, this case that he's on the mizbeach, and how does he do azah? No, then everybody would agree that that avir is considered like the mizbeach. Now, brand new sugi, Rabbi Yisai, literally brand new Mishnah, new start. Great. Anybody hasn't been here for a while? No, we're all there. Okay. Huh? Yosef, Yosef, you watching? No, he just came back, but he watches. If anybody. Did I make a brach on this? You got to remind me? What happened? Says the Eli Mishnah. Where are we? Where's this again? Oh, that's the guy. He brought some friends over here. Ooh, I had a very good picture. Ariel sent me, I got to show you. Ariel sent me, he did a zoom into that clock. It says 1 o'clock in the morning. The guy's staggering away by himself. The guy on the left, I don't know his name. No, he got it like towards the end of this year. All of you were on the side. You were just not in the screen. Givaldic. Where is this? Where is it, Dave? Do we know? Mountaindale? That's what Mountaindale. Our boys in Mountaindale. Very good. Very good. It's nice and cold in there. How, there's snow outside? Is there snow outside? Yeah, okay. And the shul turns off the heat at night, to save money. Says this is last night in Neve Yaakov. Unbelievable. This is one of our satellite locations, Neve Yaakov.
דייב, תיקח תמונה מזה, תעשה איזה סרטון קצר אולי, אפשר לעשות מסך?
To cut it.
נראה את זה מחר לאנגלית. שיבינו מה זה, נווה יעקב.
I thought it's two different places. I thought it's two screens. So the guys took his hands off the thing. It's the same. Unbelievable. Be'ez Hashem all over the world will be more than this, every place. It says the Eli Mishnah. Kli alach, mikachim salach. In the Beis Hamikdash, we had different measuring cups. Check this out. They're all made out of gold, pure gold. Can you imagine? Pure gold. Rashi says that for the liquid, we had 7 different kalim. It wasn't like these measuring cups, they could do multiple things. Each kli did one thing. You wanted a quarter of a lug, you got to go all the way to the bottom. You wanted a hin, all the way to the left. You want something in between? Each kli. Lug is 3 from the right. Typical lug. Now that was for liquids. That's for oil, for wine. What about if you want to measure flour? So for flour, which is a solid, you use something else. A chatzi yisar. The kli, this is a kli in the Beis Hamikdash. It's a kli shares. It has powers. Whatever you put into it becomes kaddish. You have a sack of flour in the Beis Hamikdash, not kaddish at all. What if I take that sack of flour from the Beis Hamikdash? I go to the store with it. I go into Yerushalayim. I go into Bnei Brak with a sack of flour, and then I come back into the Beis Hamikdash. Should I do anything wrong? No, nothing happened to the flour. Once I put it It's chulin, why not? Whatever it is. Once I put it into, it's not chulin, it's a bedek habayis. But once I put it into the kli, boom, it comes kodesh kedusha saguf. But if I take flour, and instead of putting it into here, I put it into here, it doesn't become kodesh. Stam depictions, but I think they're based on other svarim maybe.
Even today, there's dry measurements and liquid measurements.
100%. If you're going to buy flour, it's going to be based on kilo slash maybe nefach, or whatever it's called, volume. But it's usually, but nowadays it's kilo, but liquid goes by liters, cc's, whatever they're called. And the kli, the vessel that's mekadesh, the dry, could only do dry. Ein kli alach mekadesh sayovesh, v'lo yovesh mekadesh alach. Which the Gemara is going to say one afkamina that's not 100% like we're reading. By the way, just this, there was I forgot who it was. A typical story like this, you say right away, it's Rabbi Yonasan Eivshitz. So the Rebbe asked the class, how many candles do you light on Hanukkah? We all know the answer basically because we grew up with those boxes of candles, the colored candles. 44. 44.
The blue is always broken.
Right. Oh, the blue is always broken. Why? Because you always wanted the blue and your sister wanted the yeah. So he said the Rebbe says, if anybody knows the answer to this question, you all could go out to recess. So one of the kids says, Hapach nishbar v'anachnu nimlotnu. Pach is 88. That's our daf today. Pach. Nishbar. It's broken. So it's broken half, meaning 44. V'anachnu nimlotnu, and we could run away to recess. So this is, Chanukah Torah said it. They said it about my father. They said it about my shver. Different geniuses. Okay. So, Klei HaKodesh shenikvu. You see how this is getting into Agadat already. You have a kli that has a hole in it. If you could continue using it as the original usage, let's say it was for flour, and it has a pinhole in it. No, the flour is not going to escape from there. You can continue using it. Mikachin. Vein shleimim. It's as if it was like the original type of kli. Mikachin, it still has the power to give kedusha to the flour. Bimlav, let's say it's a nice size hole, and it's what's the word? The flour is escaping. Is there a better word to say? Leaking. Leaking is for liquid, I would think. Okay, whatever. It's leaking flour. Ve'im lav emikachin, no good. It's not mekadesh. There's a medrash in Shir Hashirim. I have it over here. He says a mashal. Says there was a guy comes to a store. Here we could zoom in it a little bit. He comes to the store, and he asks the one of the workers there. He says, "Could you fill my vessel, my bowl, with 2 pounds of flour?" So the guy takes a look inside the bowl and he sees the hole on the bottom. He says, "No, there's no point to it." So he's annoyed. He goes to the other guy that's working. He says, "Could you fill my thing with 2 scoops of flour?" Guy takes a look. He sees there's a hole in it. Sure. Takes 2 scoops of flour, puts it in, and it all comes out. And the guy says, "Okay, pay up." He pays it. So the Medrash says the first one is a shaita. He's an idiot. The guy asks him to fill it up. Fill it up. What are you telling him no? It's none of your business if there's a hole in it. He asked you. He said he's going to pay for it. He paid. The other guy is a chacham. So what's the mashal? The nimshal is that the Rebbeinu Shalom tells us, learn Torah. What's your excuse? I don't remember anything. But that's not your problem. He asked you to do it. You do it. Just do it. It comes out. Okay. Came out. Don't be a shaita. So there was a Rav that asked once, he says, but at the end of the day, the guy is not a shaita. The guy, why is he a shaita? He saw that there's a hole, so why should he feel? You didn't gain anything by putting it. He says, you don't know the reason. Why did he come here? He schlepped all the way from there, traveled here with his bowl. He asked, he wants to pay for it. He has a reason. Whatever his reason is, he wants a little bit on the side. I don't know what. He wants it. You don't ask kashas on the Rebbeinu Shalom. So the Satmar Rebbe's yard site, he says, yeah, the Yom HaTzolah, Yom HaTzolah, Yom HaTzolah, the big. It's a big day for Satmar. We have a lot of Satmar, but he says a beautiful vart. He says, they say in English, it goes in one ear, goes out the other. So people are saying, oh, Daf Yomi goes in one ear, goes out the other. He says no, but when it goes in one ear, goes out the other, it cleans the pipe while it goes through. The kulon a mekachim ela b'kodesh, huh?
Try to figure it out.
Okay, but people are curious. They're curious. They do. They have all this. But you hear that all the time. I hear it over and over. I want to learn something that I remember. I need to do a lot of chazaras. No, but do you do it? No. If they're on a program that does chazaras, okay. I'm not going to argue with you. That's your limud givaldik. But you're not even doing that. What do I gain by it? I'm not gaining much. Anyways, no. There's a mitzvah to learn Torah. It's the greatest mitzvah that we know about. If you take this same golden vessel and bring it to Bnei Brak and fill it up with flour, no kedusha whatsoever. It's because it's in the Beis Hamikdash, it gives it kedusha. Omer Shmuel, Leishanu elamidos, ava mizrachos mikachim. Check this out. He says it's super interesting. The only thing we discussed are these kalim. These are measuring cups. But what if you take a kli like this? I'm going to put them side by side. The measuring cup on the right, if you fill it up with flour, doesn't do anything. No kedusha. But if you take the kli, the mizrach, again, I'm not saying this is exactly what it looked like. This is based on, it had a point on the bottom, so it was very difficult, impossible to put it down. So the kind had to constantly hold it so the blood shouldn't congeal. But if I take flour and put it in the left one, the mizrach, it's not a measuring cup. It's a kli that holds liquid. You're right, it holds liquid. But if I put salad in it, it would also be mekadosh it. It's only when I put it into a measuring device of liquid that it's not mekadosh the salad. But if I put it into a regular kli that holds liquid, it is mekadosh the salad. That's what he says, and I'll bring you a right from a pasuk. Shneimar, shneim meleim soilas. This is a pasuk that we say on Hanukkah. We're warming up the Hanukkah here. Pach. That what? That even though I put soilas, I put flour, I put salad into this kli that's designed for liquid, it becomes kaddish. What's the raya? Once you mix this mincha, you mix flour together with oil, so it becomes sort of like liquid. It's liquidy. It pours out. So that's why it became kaddish. Not because the kli has the power to be kaddish a salad. It's not salad. Very good. We didn't use one of those blenders. What do they call those? Today you take one of those. What is it called? A zhuzher? No way. That's what you guys call it? Hand blender. A hand blender. You take it, zhuzher, you zhuzher it in there, and there's not a single molecule that didn't mix in with this. They didn't have that. This is what you're talking about in the Beis Hamikdash. They take a bunch of flour, take oil. I did it in shear once. Don't ask. It's chunky, gunky. You wish there was a zhuzher, but Hashem said no. Take the oil, go like this. So what do you have in there? I guarantee you, there's some globs of what's the word? Clumps. Clumps is a better word. Clumps in there that are just pure flour that are coated with oil. But if you go into it, you take one out, you pop it open, the flour is gonna explode. How did that become kaddish? Those are certainly salad. Inside this mixture, it's certainly salad. Elamai, the kli is mekadosh it. But it's a liquid kli. You're right. Liquid kli could be mekadosh a salad. Only a liquid measuring cup cannot be mekadosh a salad. No, you're right. It's not liquid. It's a salad. If you compare a mincha flour that's mixed with oil compared to a liquid like blood, that's a salad. The Gemara's havamina was that it's a liquid. No, it's not a liquid. It's a salad. Compared to blood, it's a salad. And you see that it's mekadosh, so a salad is mekadosh in the kli. Omer Shmuel. Now we have a few rules.
Before also, you're saying it's a salad.
When?
It's not a liquid, it's a salad.
Where?
The first tires. What's the first tire?
Yeah, the first tires is that the clump is a yavish. That's why I said it. You pop it open, it's pure flour, which is a yavish.
People don't eat the broth. You can't mix it properly. You're always going to have these.
Little pockets of hanami, like in the matzah burger. The guy's going like this. It's by hand. Omer Shmuel. We have 4 types of issues with the kli. Kli sharis eimik kachim el shleiman. It doesn't have the power to be mekadesh a kli if it has a hole in it. And by the way, I need to mention this. We're going to mention it soon, but let's just get used to this. It's a very important yesod in life. Anybody that is part of our organization knows I like to say this a lot. Einanius b'mokem ashirus. You can't act like a poor person when you're a king. It's a mokem of ashirus. That's why in the Beis Medrash we go all out. We have the most expensive coffee machines, the nicest furniture, the chairmarket.com, Mitsubishi air conditioners, everything. You'll see the top of the top. Why? It doesn't pass. When it comes to Torah, you go to the top. Everything's the best. We used to import our coffee from America. Remember, we were schlepping. People were schlepping. And now we have the beans, the best beans, the whole. It's not trying to save a penny here. We get the top talent, the whole everything. Oh, Shabbaton. We fly in the band from Eretz Yisrael because we think it's a little better. We fly in Reb Nachman Seltzer. No, we didn't fly. Okay. No, Bemes, the best speakers, the best. Go top shelf. It has to be top shelf. And that's why you have a golden kli. It has a hole in it. Get rid of it. Now, what do you do with it? Now, you're not throwing the golden kli in the garbage. You can't sell it, right? It's kli shards. You can't sell it. So what are you going to do with it? You melt it down and start all over again. It's fine. But that's the yisod right now until the bottom line. Get into your head.
What about when they threw the esrogs at the mizbeach and they cracked it and they filled it with salt? That's a repair job.
Yeah, you had to do that on the spot. It's all gold plated. Yavaldik. Says the Gemara. So let me show you the little chart here. Yeah, we'll get there in a second, Dave. Hold on. He wants us to show this video of Einanias b'mokem ashirus. I just want to show you these 4 things. It goes top and bottom. Shleima means whole, and not with a giant hole in it. Yeah, it can't have a hole like that. It's not mekadesh. It literally won't be mekadesh. Mileim means you have to put the full shear in there. Mileim. So if it holds an isarin, you have to put isarin. Let's say you put a half a isarin, like the one on the bottom. It's a chisarin in the shear. It's a chisarin. It's like a psul. You put the wrong amount, no good. It's not mekadesh a half a shear. And then we're going to see metoichan. Metoichan means that it could only be mekadesh up to the edge, to the rim, but not above. Like if you do too much, you pile it on, it's not going to be mekadesh that part. And befnim just means inside the Beis Hamikdash and not outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Says the Gemara, and only what's inside up to the rim. And there's a shita over here that only says 3 out of the 4. What's missing? Means in the Beis Hamikdash. What's missing? Metoichan. What would that mean to me? What would that mean? That even if you go above the rim would be okay. It is mekadesh. My benayu. So what's the difference between these 2 lashonos? Benayu beirutze midos. If I do something like this, if I overflow it, according to the shita that takes out the word metoichan, so this would be kadesh. But if you hold metoichan, is that the word? Yeah, metoichan. Metoichan means it has to be within the rim. So the beirutze midos would not be good. Gadush, yeah, Gadush. Actually, it says in the Brisa, all 4 together, makbid on metoichan, has to be up to the brim. Listen to this unbelievable thing. Number 2 from the right, the Malayan. If I fill up a kli with a half a shear, so more no good. So he says, that's because He didn't have in mind to put more in. But let's say you're filling it up from a sack of flour and you ran out halfway through. So you go to the closet, you get the other sack. Okay, you're in the middle of pouring it. You had in mind to get to the shear. If you're going to stop over here halfway, okay, you're right, it's not Kaddish. But if you had in mind to finish it up, then it's Kaddish. I'll give you a mashal. Been working on this lately, this idea. A lot of people go on diets. I personally have a chasana, January 9th. I gotta trim down. My daughter, I remember when my daughter's getting married, I got on the treadmill, like from the day she got engaged, every day for an hour, the whole thing, there's pictures. I got Shabbos, January 9th, Shabbaton is my chasana. I gotta go meet my mishpach over there. I'm on Bamas. I'm on a thing. Here's the thing. You go on a diet, you say, I'm not gonna eat carbs. Everybody in their own thing. He's not gonna eat fat, he's not gonna eat carbs, he's not gonna this, he's gonna starve himself. So you could look at it as like, wow, this is painful. This is mamish painful. I can't wait until I can eat. When's my cheat meal coming up? When's the chasana going to be over already? I got to eat my pizza, whatever it is. That is a failure. That if you have that mindset, that now I'm hurting myself because I need to gain, you can't do a diet like that, l'chayr. You have to look at it as if right now that I'm whatever diet I am, I won. I had a win. Today I didn't touch this donut that's coming out. It's oy vavoy. My wife already told me that Brooklyn Bake Shop is coming here to the Ramat B'Shem. She's all excited. She's going to react. I said, you better not bring those here. But she'll bring them. And I'm not going to eat them. It's not going to be painful. It's going to be a win. It's going to be a win. I won. Now I can fit into my chasana suit, whatever it is. Yeah? You have to take it as a win, a daily win. That's the only way to do it. And maybe the same thing by Torah. If I think to myself, wow, I got to go 2,711 days. That's a long time. How am I I'm going to join now in middle of Zevachim. I got to go. No. Every day is a gain. Every day is a win. Every daf. It's a beauty. Look what we learned today. Win number 1. Tomorrow is win number 2. Yeah, the long-term goal afterwards, together. Biyachad. We finish a Masechta. Boom. A big win. Finish Shas. Unbelievable. But every day is a win. That's how you have to look at it. So Mela, Mamish, I saw this in the Gemara. I was reading it. It's like, oh, here's the Yisod. Avadaiti lahaisef, Rishon Kodesh. No, each one is a Kodesh. Why? Because this is a win number 1. Tomorrow, I'm going to combine it with something else later. Memela, it's Kodesh. Hayina mehachi. Meleim, Meleim el shleimim. So by the way, this is tricky. Mamish tricky. Because if you look at this chart over here, what does shleimim mean in our chart? Shleimim in our chart means a whole. And now we're doing a complete, we're going to another, we're using the word shleimim and what we mean is meleim. Yeah, and they're right next to each other, 2 words. It's confusing. But so put it in your, take your pencil out and write. Ein meleim el shleimim does not mean shalom without a hole. Meleim means a full shear. We're just chazering now. If you ran out of a product or you're going to come back in a few minutes and put the whole shear in there, Rishon Kodesh, as the first half a shear goes in, that becomes Kodesh. Then you put the second one in, it also becomes Kodesh. It's like a riddle. How's it possible that you put a half a shear in, it becomes Kodesh? Or if you put a half a shear in, it's not Kodesh. It's the same amount. You put a half of the shear you're supposed to, half of a quarter of an Isarin into the Kli, zero happened, and you put a quarter of Isarin, it's Mamish Kodesh, because it's all in the head, Yiddishkeit is in the head. If I think to myself, I'm just starting, I'm going to come back later and put the other half, boom, it's Kaddish. If you don't think that, not Kaddish. But I just want to remind the Olam that the raffle is going strong. And I'm saying this because you don't, even yesterday, we got like an emotional text from a yeshiva guy. He says, I'm a bacher, I do the daf, it's my life, I got my father to do it, the whole thing. I need to come to the Shabbaton. Like, how am I not going to come to the Shabbaton? I was planning on it. How could you be sold out? I don't know. I thought I said it a few times. Like, hey, get the rooms, and he's like number 46 on the waiting list. What are you going to do? Anyways, there's a raffle. The Bahamas were sold out. There's a raffle. 3 rooms are reserved for the raffle buyers. Go to mdydaf.com. That's our website, right? mdydaf.com. dafyomi.com/raffle. And you go, people are mamish buying up raffle tickets. And if you buy a raffle ticket and you already have a room, you get your money back from the room. And if you live far away, there's $1,000 towards airfare. You could come now from Eretz Yisrael to the Shabbaton in under $1,000. So there's even tickets for $800, $900. Anyway. Huh? Shinleifin. What is that, a van or a plane? Do not disturb, learning the Daf with Rebelli. He's on a plane. That might be the first time that we saw a woman in a shir. I didn't see, but it could be. Shimmy, talk about. Shimmy, I want you to get up, get on your chair, and go, get over here to the whole plane. No. I'm joking. Sit down. He would do it. What a piece. Wow. Shimmy Leifman is one of the best ambassadors that we have. He's from Manchester. He, all over his truck, it says, do the daf. He has a picture of me holding a fish with blood dripping out. And people are like, what is this? He says, oh, come to daf and you'll see what it is. Kitzer, unbelievable. You need that kind of energy to bring people to the Torah. All right, Zok the Gemara. And of course, Shimmy, you got to sell more stenders. The island should buy stenders from Shimmy Leifman. Here, go on. That's I bought from him. Right over there, that one. Yeah, we paid him. He didn't give. There's no freebies here. All these guys got stenders from him. Unbelievable. Yeah. So, a nice plug for Shimmy Leifman stenders. Zok the Gemara. Oh, here we go. We're getting to the Gata. We're getting there. It already is a Gata, but we're getting there. Ein kli alach mikadosh. Omer Ravi Temer Ravasi emi kachim li korev av kachim li pasel. Simple. A kli. Let's say you have a measuring cup for liquid, and you pour flour into it. We said it's not kaddish. It's not kaddish. He says, oh, it's not kaddish. What do I mean it's not kaddish? It's not kaddish. Don't put it on the mizbeach. But it's kaddish enough that if you're a tvul yaim, you have a certain amount of tumah to you, and you touch it, poof, it becomes pasul. If you put it in the kli, it becomes kaddish enough. Yeah, we're getting there. That's later on the bottom. Don't worry, I didn't forget that video. If it's kaddish enough that you take it out of the Beis HaMikdash, boom, don't bring it back in. It's pasul. Whereas before it was in the sack of flour. If you took it out of the Beis HaMikdash, you could bring it in, out, whatever you want to do. But this gives a little bit of kedusha. What's Tful Yaim? Just want to remind the Olam, what's Tful Yaim? We have this. The guy has Tumah. And once he goes into the next one, the Tumah comes off and it becomes a different category called Tful Yaim. And then once nighttime comes, just showing how time goes by. There's a little bit of Tameh, a little bit, and then nighttime turns blue, and then he becomes Mechusik Kippurim, and the next day when he brings a carbon, he becomes green. If he has to bring a carbon. But if he doesn't have to bring a carbon, then the tumah goes away completely at nightfall. But there's in between. Yeah, I just wanted to show you. Yeah, it was just because that's what happens when you bother people. Don't bother people. Like, why is Trump president today? Because Obama bothered him. Because Obama made fun of him in public. You chat with the guy, you tell him, oh, cigarettes, he's going to make 10 more videos of cigarettes. That's how it works. Avokajli Apostle. And some say this vard on something else. If there's you guys are having too much fun today, the three of you. I'm happy you're laughing. It's all good.
Yeah, I didn't know nobody this.
So go to the principal's office.
Give me a cigarette, I'll take it.
Hey, Rabbi Isai, Meduma. What's Meduma? You have Truma. Who could eat Truma? Only a Kayan. Let's say the Truma fell into a box of other fruit. So now I don't know what to do with that fruit because there's Truma in it. And since there's Truma in it, check this out. There's a pasuk. Listen to this. We're learning new things every day. It says in Yecheskel, Mimashki Yisrael. It has to be something that a Yisrael could eat, drink. It has to be available to Yisrael. When you have a box of fruit and half of it is Truma, could a Yisrael eat from it? No. Only a Kohen could eat from it. From that, you cannot bring a mincha. You can't bring menachas. You can't take the flour and grind it down for a mincha. Unesachim, you can't make wine from it and pour it on the mizbeach like this. When you bring a carbon and you have to bring a mincha together with it, you can't do that. Ubikurim, and the first fruit of the year, some of it is truma, some of it is not. You can't bring it as bikurim. Why? Minameduma, because it is mixed with truma. And if you have arlo, I'm not even going to show that video. I'll just jump straight to kilaya kerem. You planted wheat between the vineyard. This is the raisa. So you can't bring from the grapes or the wheat. You can't bring a nesachim or a mincha. Who can't eat this? Even a kohen can't eat it. So certainly, if only Yisrael can't eat it and it's a problem, so certainly if both a Yisrael and a kohen can't eat it, of course you can't bring a mincha from it and a nesachim. Okay? Certainly arlo and klei kerem. V'mhevi lo kiddush, and if you brought it, it's not kaddish. So it's similar to our sugi. Why? Because Amaravi, same Ravasi, Ashi lo kiddush li Ravasi, Ravasi lo kiddush li karev, aval kiddush li pasel. What does it mean? It's not kaddish when it's meduma. It means that it's So here there's a little switch again. Take out your pencil quickly. Leiby, take out your pencil. Over here doesn't mean, if you just read the words, it would be similar to before. Like kiddush li karev, you can't put it on the mizbech. Aval kiddush li pasel, that if a tvul yom touches it. No. Over here, it's literally pasel, and you need to burn it. Of a kiddush lepasel, you don't have to wait for a tvul yom to touch it or take it out of the base. Like we said before. The taich of these words is different than the taich we said before. Pay attention. Tana Rabbanon. Here goes the Agadata. This is the beginning of the Agadata. You have a hole in your kli. It was a problem back in the day. Very thin kalim, and it has a hole. You cannot, what is it called, weld it together. You can't patch it. No patching. You don't act like a pauper when you're a king. There's no such thing in the Beis HaMikdash. You don't put a bunch of lead in there. Nivgimu. There's a little dent in it, like a becher. You're not supposed to make kiddush from a becher that has a dent on the top. You don't fix it. Sakin shenivgam. So over here, sakin shenivgam is interesting. Obviously, when you have a knife, you're supposed to sharpen it all the time. We're not talking about a little tiny b'gima. There's two types of b'gimas. This is a typical b'gima, let's say. That the shoichet runs his, if you ever seen them, they take these long knives and they have these nails and they go, I wouldn't be able to do it. And they try to see if they can feel a little jagged edge. And then I'll show you what they do in a second. We're talking about this. This is a real knife of Weissfish, but a fake b'gima that Yoshi did. It's a massive mum over here, and all the sharpening you're going to do in the world is not going to take that out. Toss out the knife. So we're talking about a large b'gima. Sakin shenivgam, a mashchizin as b'gimasa. Here, so we have Weissfish's. By the way, I called him up. I sent him a message yesterday. I said, I heard that there was a person by the name of Rabbi Miller who made knives that were unbelievable. They didn't become pogum. He says, yes. In fact, my knives are Miller knives. And he sends me a picture. It says on it, Miller's, and in English also here, Miller. This person was nifter 80 years ago. And he had a way he did something with the metal that it doesn't nick so easy. And he says nobody was ever able to imitate it. With all our technology today, they don't make knives like Miller knives. These are the most expensive knives. He still uses Miller knives. They don't know. He was nifter with the secret, unfortunately. Yeah. But I think he went. Obviously, he went through the war. This is Rav Weissfish's son. You can see the Miller knives on the ironing board over there.
Sharpening your challah.
Sharpening and challah. And we have another one. Oh, I didn't put his other son in there. His older son was doing the large knife. Okay, maybe the editors will throw it in. But anyways, that's lahashchis. Hold on. Teaching his kid. This is a smaller knife. This is more for birds. What?
Kids playing with knives.
Teaching, training him young.
Okay.
A large one. Nishmita, let's say the handle fell off. A marzino, so you don't put it back. There was a knife in the Beis HaMikdash had small begimas. We're not talking about the large one, like this. Every 2 days, another one. They would fix it, then it would come back. So they did a little pole. The Kohanim did a pole. They said, no, it's not worth fixing this all. Let's get rid of it. It's making too many treifas. You don't use a needle and make clothing. So it's very interesting. They would fashion the clothing. Here we have an oirig machine right over there from Peretz Chaim Levin. They would make almost like a undershirt in one shot, in one piece. That's how they would weave it into one, and then they would add the sleeves later. Shenevar Maisa oirig. It should be special oirig. Nizgalu, unbelievable. What happens if the clothing got dirty? Now you can imagine in the Beis Hamikdash with all the blood, it's going to get dirty. Ein mechapsim lo beneser v'lo ba'al. You can't use detergents and different chemicals to wash out the clothing. So what are you saying? What? You're allowed to wash it with water? What about the fact? What about the fact that blood? You have a blood stain. How are you going to get it out with water? It doesn't even work. You should use all in Eser. So I just want to show you this video real quickly. What?
Mine is aniyos.
Yeah, it's not even going to work. What's the point? Huh?
You can't use the detergent. You definitely can't just use water.
Yeah, cold water. It has cold water. You're going to take out a stain like that. You can't do it. You put it in the Gniza box over there.
I told you to throw the garment away and not clean it. Now burn it completely.
The king. A little stain on there, so I bring another one. We have one in Bet Shemesh. The guy's driving around with one of those. Not the golden one, but.
Stop the car! Stop it right now!
Omar Abaya, Hochi Goma. It says Abaya. If it's a stain that water could take out, then you could use detergent. It's not an issue to use detergent. Before you guys go, just one more halacha. Obviously. What do you do with these begadim? In the time of the Beis Hamikdash, you didn't buy it in China, a machine-made cloth. To make a shirt like this, to make this, is handmade. You imagine how many hundreds of hours for one shirt? Thousands of dollars. What do you do with it? Huh? Wicks. The wicks for the menorah. You undid it and made wicks for the menorah. And we're going to see the begadim had powers. They actually helped kapara. So you take that power, you take that kedusha, you make a wick out of it. It makes a lot of sense. But if you have to come onto chemicals to take out the stain, you have to send it to the dry cleaner. You can't even use water. You never wash people had questions like, what? You're in the Beis Hamikdash, so every time a drop of blood gets on a beged, poop, throw it out? I guess. I don't know. Maybe they were careful. Shenanios, the bottom line is, Shenanios b'makim hashirus. Toner Rabbanan. Mi'il kulei shel tcheles hoya. Beautiful. Oh, so let me just stop here. First of all, I have to do the sponsors. Before I say the sponsors, I don't want to forget, I got the names here. We have 8 more people. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. It's a tremendous chus to have a daf engraved for the rest of time. Be'ezer Hashem. Daf Mem Hey, Eli Ashir, I miss you. Meyer Nechaya Rivka Official gives and gives and gives. Daf Nun Dalet, Yaakov Granik, Daf Nun Zayin, Dan Rubinoff, Daf Ayin, David Rabinowitz, Dr. Ben Schwartz. Remember Dr. Ben Schwartz? That's something that has to go in your book. One of the first letters of how the Rebbe, Daf Pei Beis, Eli Yakubov, Slicha, Daf Tzadikei. Oh, and Fischl also did Perikei. Meyer and Chayo, Rivka Fischl, Yeshur Koyach Godel Moed. It's a $10,000 thing. And Sruli Furman Daf Tzadik Ches. Unbelievable. I can't. I'm overwhelmed by this. It's unbelievable. All right. Zok the Heilige Gemara. Huh? Oh, I have to do the sponsors. Adar Global. Going global to be Mechazik Deli satellite location. Stephen Schwartz. The Nishmois, my parents. Million J. Schwartz. Former owners of Arnes Deli in Lakewood, New Jersey. Rabbi Isai, here are the clothing of the kohen. Here, this is what a kohen gadol looks all dressed up. But what is it based? What are the basic begadim? So there's 4 on the right that every kohen wears. The kohen and the kohen gadol wears the 4. In addition, he wears the 4 on the left. A total of shmoina begadim. So we're going to go through all the begadim here. Me'il, the one on the left, is all blue. What did it have on the bottom, Rabbi Isai? Had the bells and the pomegranates. Shenemar vayas esmilo efet klil tchelis. The whole thing was blue. Tchelis. Shulav ketzad. What about the hem? Maybe tchelis vargomon v'tilas shani shezurim. Beautiful what he did here. You take like the purple and blue and here, mamish like this. There's a close-up of what it might have looked like. But just the sabir naim. I'm not saying exactly like that. And what would he do? You have pomegranates on the left that they blossom, they open, and the ones on the right are closed. They didn't open their mouth. Says Rashi, when children fight, they wear helmets. And if you look close, I just noticed this now. Yesterday. Koinois means a cone. And if you look at the word, it actually says cone in this word. Coins. Kuf, vav, nun, sof. Cones. And in Hebrew also, that's how they say it today. I forgot exactly how they call it cone in Hebrew, but something like that. Konsot, something like that. So when children fight, they wear helmets here. It's supposed to look something like this. We're learning a lot of stuff today, Reb Nachman. Knives, cigarettes, fights. That's what he says. They fight each other with sticks or whatever.
Jewish children or God?
Rashi says tinoikos. It seems like Jewish. Umevi shivim shnayim zagin, and he brings 72 bells. Shebahem shivim shnayim in bolim, and inside is a little. What do they call the little guy that hits the bell? The clapper. I just want to show you this. I'm not. This one I don't know about. It sounds interesting. I'm just showing you because it's interesting. I'm not taking a price on this.
The golden bell actually wasn't sifted, but it was found here in the upper area, buried in a little section of dirt. The golden bell of the high priest, the Kohen Gadol.
The high priest had a kind of skirt that he wore, and it had a little bell and then a little pomegranate. Bell, pomegranate.
And we found a bell. It was unreal. It was put in my hand right after it was found. Like I said, it wasn't clean. And I said, is it gold? And he goes, yeah. And I said, what is it? He goes, shake it. And I shook it. He goes, what's gold? Has a chime inside of it, and it's pure gold.
There's a chime in it. He's saying it looks like this. So based on this, Yoshi did this. A closed rimoin made out of those 3 threads and interwoven threads, and so it looks something like this. Hamim rimoin. Again, we don't know, but whatever. Take a wild guess. If you take 72 total, so 36 on each side. Reb Doisa Omer. Yeah. Or maybe I said this. Reb Doisa Omer. Now remember the name Rabbi Doisa, because he's going to come up soon, and it's something different. Rabbi Doisa Omer Mishum Rabbi Yehuda Shleishim Shisha. He was 36. 18 and 18 on each side. Omar Rabbi Anani Bar Sasan. Remember this name. Bar Sasan says, the son of Rabbi Sasan, Rabbi Anani. The only time in Shas. How many Negoim, different shades of Tzaras are there? 36. This nan, Maris Negoim, how many shades of Tzaras in the house, on the beged, on a person? Rabbi Doisa, it's the same Rabbi Doisa. It's the same number he said before. And as the Gemara is going to say, this same me'il that has these 36 bells, according to Rabbi Doisa, is what gives a kapara to Lashon Hara, which the Einish of Lashon Hara is Tzaras. It's instead of the Tzaras. It's 36 in Tzaras, 36 bells. It's not 36, it's 72. And he says, here comes that guy for real. Why is the karbanis next to the coins b'gadim? The carbon comes to give a kapara of bigdei kuhuna mechaprim. The kohen wearing his beged is mechaper. Where do we see kapara? We learned throughout the whole Masechta is kapara. Where? By the tzitz. The tzitz is mechaper for tumas migdash v'kadoshav. You see that the kutaynas mechaper is al shvichus dam. The kutaynas. Let's go to the kutaynas here. Kotoinus is all the way on the right. That's for Ritzicha. I had a question here. Maybe you'll ask the question. And you've seen Taisus an answer. Very nice answer. This week's Parsha Raboisai, Kiss from Hashem. For Ritzicha, the Kotoinus. Michlosayim v'chavrim al-gila arayis, the pants, the michlosayim. You see them over here also in the chart. Shenemar v'asei lohem michlosay bad l'chatzis b'sar erva. Erva and michlosayim. B'tzneves mechaperes agasi ruach, the belt. Minayin omer v'chanino yovi dover shebegoiva. Sorry, b'tzneves is the hat, something that comes on top of the head, on the highest part of the human being, on the kohen. V'chaper al goiva, and it comes from something haughty, highness. Avnei mechaper al hir al-leiv. The avnei, that's the belt, comes from mechaper on thoughts that you have, bad thoughts. Where do you put the belt? We learned it in Zevachim even, I think. By the elbow, it goes right over here by the heart. If you do bad halachas, bad psakim, the ephod all the way to the left is a kapar al zara. And ephod usrafim, srafim, like we know with Terach and Avram, srafim is the Avodah Zarah. So ephod goes together with Avodah Zarah. Me'il, rafim, right? Correct. Where else? What did I say? Well, yeah, okay, that's maybe Rashi says over there. Fine, but yeah, you're right. In the Torah, it's rafim. Me'il mechaper al lashon hara. The me'il comes from lashon hara. Question. Lashon hara, you have to do tshuva. You have to ask the guy mechila. What do you mean? The kohen is going to wear some begadim and it's going to be mechap. So Taisus goes into it and says, it's not for the person himself. It's for Klal Yisrael, that Kol Yisrael Arevim Zelazeh. So when a person does Ritzicha, we suffer from it. So we get a kapar from it. He has to do his own tshuva, there's nothing to do. But we shouldn't get we shouldn't be punished for his aveira. So that's why we get a kapar from the kohen's begadim. We got. I'm sorry, I have to go weiter. Minayin. Me'il mechaper al lashon hara. Minayin omer v'chanino yovi dover shebekol v'yichaper al kol hara. The noise of the bells will be mechaper on the lashon hara. The tzitz mechaper al azis ponim, and the tzitz mechaper on chutzpah. The tzitz ksiv hayal mitzacharon ubazis ponim ksiv umetzach ish zoyna hayalach. Same lashon. Eini, ask the Gemara. V'omer Yeshua ben Levi. There are two things that there's no kapara when it comes to a karban. I just did the quickest chart I ever did here, just so it's easier to follow. Two things you can't bring a karban for, but you'll get a kapara doing something else. Killing and speaking lashon hara. Shvichas dam, you can't bring a karban for killing. Megla rufa. But you get a kapara if you bring the calf and they chop off the head, etc. Lashon hara miktoires. The Tanur of Chananya, Menai Liktoirish Chaperes, Ktoires brings a kapar for Avodah Zarah, for Lashon hara. Shenemar Vayidin Zaktoires v'Chaper lahom, that the Megefa stopped when he brought Ktoires. The Tanur is very small. Amal Ktoires v'Chaperes, Lashon hara. Why? Yavadosh v'Chashai. Something that you did. The Ktoires you do in private. Nobody can watch the Kohen bringing Ktoires. Has to be in the Heichal. Nobody can be there. You typically whisper to your friend Lashon hara about your friend. The problem is Kash Lashon hara, Lashon hara. So if you look at the chart, Lashon hara we said is what's Mechaper Ktoires, and now we're saying it's the Me'il. Which one is it? And by comes Ritzicha we said Egla Rufa is Mechaper. Is it the Ktoires or Egla Rufa? Which one is it? Says the Gemara, Kasha Shvichas Dama, Shvichas Dama. Shvichas Dama loy Kasha. It's not a Kasha. Hadi Dia Man Katle. The Ktoires helps when we know who the killer is. Hadi loy Dia Man Katle. You don't know who it is, so then you go to the Egla Rufa. That's the Gemara. The Dia Man Katle. If you know who the killer is, Bartolo, you got to kill him. But no, you can't kill him because there's no Adam that gave him. They didn't warn him. You can't ask a stira that's Ktoris in the meal. Habetzina, Ktoris works for somebody that spoke Lashon hara in private. The meal gives a kapara when you do it in public. Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.